Hi there, YouTube. Hello. 4:56. It is 4:56 p.m. where I am right now. I'm at the club, by the way. Guys, I did it. I did it. I was able to do a Friday day shift today. A very short one, mind you. A very brief, quick shift, but yeah. My day shifts are nothing like my night shifts. Usually, for a while now, the night shifts that I've been doing, like 4 nights in a row back to back, are like 10 hours, pretty much. Whereas, yeah, when I do a day shift now and then, these days, especially, they tend to be on the shorter side. So it's a beautiful day. It wasn't that great of a shift, honestly. It was nothing like my Friday the 13th day shift. I wonder if Friday the 13th had something to do with why that shift was so great. I guess it must have. I don't know. I thought Friday the 13th was supposed to be like superstitiously like a bad kind of day, but my shift that day was great. And I've gotten mixed feedback from different people that I've asked as far as how last Friday was, because my Friday the 13th day shift, I think that was 2 weeks ago now at this point. So I wasn't able to come in last week for that Friday. Some people said it was pretty good. Most other people said it was just you know. Today was very much just meh. I made $3. I remember saying that in one of my recent videos. I think that was actually a night shift though. But my favorite manager was here. So that was nice. But honestly, you guys, like, I just wasn't feeling it today. I'm glad I was able to come in. You know, as usual, I wasn't able to sleep the previous night, you know, like so last night before coming in today. I got a few hours of sleep, really not much at all though. I'm really struggling with trying to sleep with the lights off. I feel like I'm in a large coffin, which is terrifying. I mean, yeah, space-wise, like a big, it's a big space compared to that, obviously, thank gosh. But it's so dark. And I still have my laptop on. So with me having the lights off these past couple weeks, I've been trying to sleep, yeah, with the lights off. My entire adult life, I was never really able to do that. But I'm just so desperate to try to lower my electric bills. So, and obsessively checking the electric meter, this is like really messing me up, like really just affecting me in some negative ways. So, but yeah, even with the lights off, I still have at least a little bit of light from my laptop being on, but it's just not enough. Like, I don't like the dark. I really, really don't. I just don't like nighttime in general. So I mean, I have a difficult time sleeping at night anyways. Oh, it's 5 o'clock on the dot. But yeah, now with trying to do it with the lights off as well, it's just making it even more difficult for me. My body and my brain just won't let me. I just don't feel safe. You know, I never feel safe. So it's like, I just can't do it. I try though. I try. Anyway, so yeah, coming in today, I really, you know, of course I really had to push myself, but it's very windy today. And so yeah, it was very cold as usual, very cold in the apartment that I sleep at, you know, before coming out today. So that was an additional like added element of difficulty for me trying to come out today. But the day itself, now that I'm out, you know, like this day, me out here in the parking lot of the club in my car, it's a beautiful, beautiful day. Not too sunny. It is still a little windy, but I think it's died down a little bit compared to earlier this afternoon. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. I just wish I would see a squirrel. I feel it's been so long since I've seen a squirrel. Um, I'm sure they're on their way, but I feel like they should be here by now. They should be back. I was seeing them during the winter. I was seeing them even like this winter with the snow. So not as much, of course, but I was still seeing them from time to time. But it's been a while now since I've seen any. So anyway, well, yeah, I don't know. So I mentioned the video that I did last night, or like, I guess yesterday evening. I think it was around 7 p.m. I was saying how for that video yesterday, I had just gotten back from the gym, and I was saying how I had just done 9 miles on the treadmill at the gym. I just wanted to mention now, I hardly ever put a description in my videos, but I want to try to remember to actually go back and add this to the okay, so because I don't usually put descriptions for my videos, I probably should, but my whole thing is to get the thumbnail, because I'm like a big pictures kind of person, but, yes, because most of my videos don't have descriptions. That includes the one from yesterday. It does not currently have a description, but I think for that one, I want to try to remember to go back and add a description for that video, just to put that it was technically 9.56 miles that I got yesterday. So in the title for that video, and while I was talking in that video, I was like, yeah, I got 9 miles, I got 9 miles. Well, yeah, okay, great, but it was actually almost 10 because it was 9.56. So I just want to mention that, and hopefully I can remember to type that out for the description for that video from yesterday, because I want to get the 10. I want to do at least a couple of half marathons this year. I'm pretty sure I did 12 half marathons last year for 2025. And I was so intent to get 13 half marathons last year. I'll have to recheck my phone, the notes in my phone, because I did type out the dates for the notes in my phone. That was in my old phone though, so hopefully the notes for that, synced up and uploaded to this new phone. I haven't gone back to check on that yet, but I don't know. I'm always scared to check on stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always scared to be on my phone or just do anything, because most things seem to just be pretty messed up for me. So I just don't like doing things for that reason and other reasons. But yeah, I'm afraid to be on my phone. I'm afraid to check the electric meter. I'm afraid to be on my laptop. I'm afraid to just do anything. It's all messed up for me. It's all usually not very good. But yes, I was happy with the 9.56 miles yesterday. However, obviously, yes, I'm feeling that today. Another thing where I just can't really win, it's one thing, it's hard enough for me to do that in the moment, or in the moments while I'm doing that. But then it's like, at the end, I feel proud of myself, but I just know that the following days, possibly the following week, I'm just not going to be feeling my best or up to doing a whole lot else, really. So, that was definitely the case here at the club today. And also with me not really getting sleep last night. Like, I really just don't sleep during the nighttime. I really just can't. So, yeah, here at the club today, normally for me coming in for a day shift especially, I want to get a workout. I mean, that applies for all my shifts, days and nights, but especially during the day. For day shifts, it's like I just want to be on that stage the entire time, stretching, and preferably like dancing really in between stretching, preferably dancing really fast and getting into the zone, getting a workout, like getting my heart rate up, just getting warm, into the music, just in the zone, in my happy place, in my zone. And it didn't really happen today. But also I wasn't really, I was just exhausted today. I still am. I think I feel a little bit better now that I'm trying to stream, because that seems to like give me some level of energy and motivation when I'm on camera. Like fake it. You gotta like smile for the camera and just like fake. Or I'm not even really faking it that much right now. Like once I start talking, it's like I feel usually better. Not always, but usually. So right now I do, which is nice, but I mean, I swear just a few minutes ago and all the previous hours of this afternoon with me being in the club just now, just briefly before this, I mean, I was exhausted. I was really, really, really just exhausted, and I just wasn't able to really do what I like to normally do here at the club and on stage and stuff. I didn't do any pole tricks. I think I want to say that part of the reason for that is because I don't want to mess up my wigs with the curls, like with the waves. I was saying how I added the waves to the wigs last Wednesday night. And when I did that Wednesday night, it was towards the end of the night. So I don't think I don't remember doing a whole lot of pole tricks on Wednesday either, because that was my fourth 10-hour night shift in a row at that point, which it usually is on Wednesdays for me. I will say though that Wednesday was a very relaxing night. Normally my Wednesday shifts are not great. They're one of my least favorite shifts, but this past Wednesday last week, that was actually a really nice shift. Yeah, I got to curl my wigs and I think it turned out, pretty good. But also just the shift in general, like as a whole, was pretty relaxing. Like I'm pretty sure the dressing room was warm, whereas a lot of times it's usually freezing. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it was warm Wednesday. It was warm today, which is just like, oh, it's like heaven. And also I remember, like I got to hang out with Taz a bit on Wednesday night. We talked a bit in one of the dressing rooms. And then, and we had some fun conversations. I won't get into the details right now, but yeah, pretty much every conversation with her is usually pretty fun for me. She's very fun to talk to. And then on my way back, when I was driving back after my shift Wednesday night, or I guess at that point it was technically Thursday morning because it was after midnight, but let's just say after my Wednesday night shift, when I was driving back to the apartment that I sleep at, it was a very relaxing drive. And I'm the kind of person where no drive is ever relaxing for me. That's a very, very rare thing. I get extreme road rage and I'm a bad driver. I don't like driving. I love having the option, the ability, being able to do it to get where I need to go. But the actual driving process, I get stressed out. I really do. I try not to, but I do. So it's rare for me to just kind of like be able to relax and enjoy a drive. However, that did happen after my shift Wednesday. The drive back was really nice. It was like a light, soft rain. So not raining too heavy to where I felt the need to like use my windshield wipers, because I try not to use those. I try to make things last like as best I can, as long as possible, like, because I don't want to have to replace them and spend money to do that. So it was like a very light, soft rain, no windshield wipers needed. I think I used my windshield wipers maybe like once or twice for that entire drive. Yeah, definitely not pouring, not even really raining that much, but just like a light, soft kind of it was very like, and it was like a warm kind of rain. Just nice, like peaceful, relaxing, kind of romantic, a little bit in a way, I felt like. So that was actually a pretty nice, relaxing drive back to, the apartment that I sleep at that night. And yeah, I mean, it was a pretty relaxing shift. And then the following day, Thursday, which was yesterday, yeah, I was able to go to the gym and do the 9 miles and then come back out today for a day shift like I had been really wanting to be able to try to do. So yeah. Oh, and also I've been on my period this week as well. So last week I really didn't, I don't know, last week I didn't go out at all Thursday, Friday, Saturday last week because my PMS just messes me up so much. So, I mean, but this week I've actually been on my period, and for the 9.56 miles that I got at the treadmill yesterday, that was the third day of my period. So not the worst day, but still like, to where it's gonna affect me a lot and really be draining for me. So yeah, that's like another little additional element that makes me proud of the fact that I was able to get almost 10 miles yesterday. Um, yeah, and so this week we'll see about tomorrow. But so far this week, I feel like despite being in my period, I've done pretty well. Um, Tomorrow, I really don't have plans for tomorrow as far as whether or not I'm gonna be trying to push myself to go out and do stuff, or if I'm just gonna maybe take the full day off and not go out at all. Um, I don't know. It would be nice to sleep in, for the afternoon, because that's when my body and my brain will actually allow me to sleep, is during the day. Which I don't want it to be that way. I really actually do want to be up and doing stuff during the day. Not always, obviously, like especially when I'm PMSing, but for the most part, I mean, if I'm going to go out and do stuff, I want there to be daylight for me to work with. I don't want to be doing it in the dark. Um, the thing is, for tomorrow, the gym that I go to, or the gyms like in the area, they close at 7 p.m. So I feel like if that weren't the case, I want to think that maybe I could just still sleep in tomorrow and then get up and go out a little bit later and still go to the gym, maybe. I remember from my video yesterday, I was doing that around 7 p.m. and it was still a little bit of daylight at that point. I know it got dark during that video, but it was still kind of like that when I started. So when I started that, I don't know. That video was like a half an hour long, so it got dark probably like 15-20 minutes into it. So it definitely gets dark right now shortly after 7. Like very shortly after, but I don't know. We'll see how tomorrow goes. But yeah, today's a beautiful day. I just wanted to come on real quickly just to kind of like say hi. And I'll be honest, the main reasons I'm coming on to do a stream today is because I want to do as many streams as I can while my wigs still look like this. Because yeah, I didn't go upside down in the pole today. And I'm assuming since I curled the wigs towards the end of the night last Wednesday, I probably didn't do much, if any, pole tricks upside down after that, because I know that I haven't wanted to mess these up. Like going upside down in the pole obviously will definitely mess up the wigs pretty bad. And once that happens, I have to brush them. So I haven't really brushed these since I curled them. Obviously, I'm going to have to brush them at some point, and probably, after going upside down in the pole again whenever I next do that. But so I just want to enjoy this for now while I can, like, because I know that it's difficult for me to stay off the pole for very long. Well, I did technically go on the pole today. So towards the end of my shift, I climbed the pole. I didn't climb the pole either at all up until the very end of the shift today. But yeah, right before I left, my last set for the day on stage, I did climb the pole, and I stayed up there on the pole for, I think, 2 songs in a row. Yeah, I stayed on the pole for 2 entire songs without getting off of it. So even though I didn't go upside down those times, just holding my body up there for 2 entire songs like that, it's enough to warm me up, and it's definitely a challenge. It's definitely very challenging for me to do that kind of thing. And then the dancer that was going to be on after me, she didn't want to come on for her turn that time. So I just stayed on for her round as well. So for an additional few songs after that. So, I did at least a little something today. I didn't just do nothing, I didn't just sleep the day away. So that's, that's good. That's something. I am worried about tomorrow though. I'm so torn about tomorrow because I can honestly say I don't know what the right thing to do would be, what the best, healthiest choice would be for me. I don't know if it would be the better option to just really fully take the day off, because that would be my only day off this week. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, I mean, last week I was really PMSing pretty bad, so I definitely took, yeah, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, just, I didn't do anything those days really. But the week before that, I'm pretty sure I went out every single day that week, or it might have been the week before that, but it was very recent that I had an entire week of going out every single day and doing stuff. So for this week, yeah, I don't know if I should try to go out tomorrow and do a little something. I know that I want to sleep in. I know that I really want to sleep in, because that's like the best thing in the world to me. That's when I can actually sleep, is when I wake up to pee after sleeping for a little bit, because I always have to pee. And then after that, rather than pushing myself to have coffee and get up, to just go back to bed and just sleep more, that is the best feeling in the world to me, pretty much. That is just, that is it for me. That's it right there. So I definitely want to do that tomorrow. I'm just not sure about after that, you know, like if I want to, like what I want to do with the rest of the day, or what the weather's supposed to be like. I really hope the weather tomorrow can be like today, because if that's the case, and if it's not too windy tomorrow, I probably will want to try to go out at some point, maybe go to the gym if I can get there in time. I don't know. We'll see. I know I'm going to feel guilty and bad though if I just don't go out at all. Like, I mean, I am probably going to be working Sunday like I usually do, but I don't know. Honestly, when it's like this right now, I just wish that it could stay like this for so much longer. And like, maybe I could just go for a walk or a jog outside. If I didn't have this big heavy backpack to worry about, you know, like I can't trust anything. I really can't. And that's not even just me having like issues. It's partly that. It's partly like, yeah, me having issues and just, but it's also, it's not just that. It's based on things that have happened to me many times, and also recently. You know, I've had stuff go missing. I know I've mentioned this many times before, but I've had stuff go missing from my car, my apartment, and my locker here at the club. All of which have been locked all those times, or they were to be, like, I locked that stuff up. So with my backpack, you know, and the stuff that I lug around with me, anything that I don't watch like a hawk 24/7 at all times, it's liable to just go missing, I feel like. You know, that's my own personal responsibility that I don't have to, but if I don't really make a point to keep that stuff on me at all times, it's on me if it goes missing, you know, if I lose that stuff. And, you know, the stuff that I have on me, especially, I really feel like I need to have. So it really does suck though, because yeah, I feel like I just can't really actually live my life. I mean, I can't really afford to anyways, you know, not really having an income here at the club. Like, yeah, I made $3 today. No regulars, nobody that comes in to see me or anything like that. But it's like, you know, money aside, if I just want to, like, yeah, just go for a jog outside or go for a walk, I really don't feel able to do that, because what would I do with my bag, you know? Winter is one thing. Winter, I don't really think about it. But when it's like this, it's such a beautiful day right now, you know. Honestly, I don't really mind that much in summer either, because summer is too hot for me. So in summer, I really don't care. But like, you know, say I want to go to the beach with somebody and just have a beach day. Or, yeah, especially like spring and maybe fall, but especially this time of year, a day like this, it's like I just want to enjoy it. I want to go for a walk, go for a jog. You know, I don't want to always have to go on the treadmill at the gym if I want to get a workout, or like outside of the club. You know, if I want to just go for a jog or a run, I want to be able to do it outside too. Like, there's not a lot of places near where I am to do that kind of thing, but there are some. Like, there's definitely at least some, you know, like, or even just a walk. I don't know. And yeah, Taz, you know, my dancer friend Taz that I talk about, she was, I think she's single now, or, you know, she's been single for a while. But she was going to get married a couple years ago. I remember a couple of years ago, she was engaged to somebody that used to work here at the club. And she had mentioned that to me and invited me to her wedding that was going to be coming up at that time. And of course I was excited and I was like, yeah, of course, I wanted to go. But deep down, I was really worried about it because I knew that I probably wouldn't have actually been able to go for so many reasons, like my anxiety and the drive. It was going to be like a couple of hours of a drive to get to the venue. And like, me just not being able to afford stuff like transportation or a dress. But then I'm trying to picture myself like at the wedding on the dance floor or just like at the wedding in general. And it's like, what am I going to do with my bag? Like, that's my partner. That's my life. That's my body double. That's my life partner. Like, that's basically me in backpack form, or just, that's like all I have pretty much. For now I have an apartment to sleep at and I have my car, but like I feel like, I don't know, it's a weird feeling. Sorry, I don't want to, I'm bringing myself down. I hate when this happens, but it's the reality for me. It's the reality. Like, it's so difficult to try so hard to be positive and want to so bad, but anytime I actually really get talking about stuff, it's like the reality hits me of what things are actually like for me. And then I'm like, oh yeah, how do I just ignore all that, like, whatever, she's not engaged anymore, or not to that same person. Basically, whatever, who cares? Like, it didn't end up being actually a thing that I had to, because I was really worried about it. That was like some years ago. And I remember I was really worried. I felt like bad before it even happened because I was like, I don't, I didn't want to have to like cancel my invite or not be able to go. But yeah, that particular instance and issue for me kind of resolved itself, just in the sense that they called off their engagement. And so obviously, the wedding didn't happen and was canceled after that. So, but you probably get the idea of like, just what I'm talking about with that kind of thing. That kind of instance can apply to so many areas and so many things for me. And it's like, I just don't really feel able to do anything other than just try to survive, which I'm barely really able to do either. And so I asked my favorite manager today on that note. I did work up the guts. I asked my favorite manager what his last shift was going to be. And he told me it was going to be the 6th. There was actually cake back in the kitchen today. Somebody in the comments was saying that I should maybe get him a cake, which I'm apprehensive about doing because obviously I don't want to spend money. And also, I don't even know if he likes cake. I'm pretty sure he's in very good shape. And I think he's like a personal trainer type of person, like massage therapy. He's like in that kind of like area of stuff, of like health related things. So he probably likes cake. I mean, I've seen him eating Pop-Tarts out of the vending machine. So, and like stuff like that. So, excuse me. And I remember like a couple of weeks ago, he got this entree delivered from somewhere and he was chucking the pieces of tofu that came with it into the trash, which that made me really sad because I just don't like to see things like wasted like that. But so maybe like, I don't know, maybe like he probably likes cake. You know what I mean? Like he seems to eat like a normal person. So, or I don't know. But anyways, I was kind of just thinking when I saw the cake in the kitchen today, I was kind of like, oh, here we go. There's already cake right here. I was like, this will take care of the whole cake thing. Here's the cake. It's already right here in advance. It's a little early, but it's in advance. I mean, the 6th is right around the corner though, honestly. So, oh, and honestly, so I also wanted to mention, I do have notes right here. I'm trying not to really look at them, but I am now. There's not even that much on this page. I've had oh God, I've had so many pending pages. So many. Do we want to see again? Yeah, I have a lot. Somewhere in here, I have 2 particular papers that have been pending for, like, the most recent that I've mentioned a few times recently, where it's like, okay, guys, next video, I want to get into these 2 specific pieces of paper. That still hasn't happened. It's not going to happen today. So this one piece of paper that I have right now, this is different. This is a new one. This one is from last night. Because I wanted to mention also what I wrote down on here as well. Yes, I know that I was in a bad mood pretty much for my video yesterday. Who is that? Oh, I know who that is, kind of. Well, I recognize her now. At first I didn't. But my video yesterday, another reason I was frustrated. I was frustrated for a lot of reasons yesterday. I'm always frustrated for a lot of reasons. But okay, so yesterday I had gone to Walmart before I went to the gym. Right? Was it? I think it was before. Yeah, it was before. And when I was at Walmart, you know, I'm seeing all of this delicious stuff that I wanted to try so bad. Like, just to, like, you know, get a little break from, like, the same old constant stuff that I always have, like tuna and oatmeal, and it's like, so, oh God, there were so many yummy looking things, all too expensive though for me. And also just with me, like, trying to be on a diet, also, like, just, you know, not really, probably not the best for that. Honestly, at my age, I feel like I really can't have, like, not only can I not have a cheat day anymore, but I can't even really have, like, a cheat meal or a cheat snack. I can't even have a cheat snack at this point, like, or technically I can, sure, but it's gonna show and it's gonna mess me up and backtrack my progress, whatever little progress I was slowly able to, like, inch towards, like, at a crawling pace. In that way, even though, you know, on the treadmill, I'm trying to pick up the pace to much more of a crawl that way. But anyway, so I'm seeing all this stuff at Walmart and it's like, I just don't feel able, I couldn't even decide between any of it anyways. Like, it's just such a endless selection. It's like endless variety, endless selection, you know, sweet, savory, everything in between, every flavor combination and profile that you could possibly imagine dreaming up. Like, food this day and age is just endless with the variety and the possibilities, which is great. Like, that's really a cool thing, I guess. But for somebody like me that gets overwhelmed by stuff like that, like by so many different choices and possibilities and prices and this and that, you know, it's like decision paralysis, where it's like, I don't know, I just want to choose 1 or 2 simple little treat things that aren't too expensive, that aren't going to completely ruin my progress. And it's like, there's just too much selection. It's just too overwhelming for me to, it's, you know, I couldn't do it. Like, oh my gosh, but you guys, I saw these cookies. I think they were supposed to be like Walmart's version of, like, knockoff crumble cookies, which I've never tried crumble cookies. And I guess there is apparently one in the same parking lot area where I go. There's 2 grocery stores that I usually go to. One of them is closer to the club. I actually went there earlier today before my shift here at the club, and I did get some popcorn, which popcorn to me is like, you know, my kryptonite, one of my versions of that. And that alone on its own is enough to mess me up and, like, completely derail my progress, unfortunately. Whatever little tiny bit of progress, you know, that right there, the 9 miles I did yesterday, there it goes right there with the popcorn. But anyways, I don't want to get into that too much. I guess the crumble cookies near that grocery store, I've seen it online that says that it's in that same parking lot area, but I guess, like, luckily I can't actually see the building from the area where I go into the grocery store that I go to. I think the crumble cookie location is on the other side of the building, so I would have to drive around basically to see it or to get there. So I usually just forget that it's even there. I honestly hadn't thought about it being there or remembered that it was there until just now. I think I found out like maybe like last year or many months ago that they even had it there because again, I can't see that location from where I go into the store, the main grocery store that I go to that area for. But apparently it's there, like I guess on the other side, somewhere around there. So me not being able to see it though, I just kind of forget about it. Yeah, until now I had completely forgotten about it. But anyway, so I've never tried crumble cookies, but I have seen them online. I've seen them in YouTube videos from other people that actually are able to do stuff like that some magical way. Um, I wish I knew how to train at the gym, like with weights, or I wish I knew like apparently me working out here at the club is not enough, and the cardio at the gym is not enough to like be able to really actually have anything enjoyable. But other people online seem to be able to do it just fine. Like the videos that I've seen from other people on YouTube with their cheat days and like their mukbangs or whatever, I'm just like watching in amazement, like how do they do that? And they're like still in shape, a lot of them, it seems. So it's like I just don't understand it. Like how does that work for them? But I don't know, it's pretty amazing to me. But also very frustrating for me myself personally and my stupid body that won't cooperate with anything. Anyways, there were these like knockoff, it seemed like crumble kind of style cookies at Walmart, and there was only one box that had the two flavors that I would have wanted to try. There were like probably 10 plus boxes total, but out of all of those like 10 plus boxes, I only saw just one box that again had the flavors that I personally would have wanted to try. And I picked up the box and I actually put it in my bag and walked around with it for a little while. And I was like debating in my head and debating and debating. And I ended up putting it back and I got apples instead, which I'm so bloated today. As bloated as I've been today, I just don't understand. Like me doing the 9 miles yesterday and like, yeah, I'm on my period, but my period's like, I feel like most of it has come out by this point. So it's like, what's going on? Why? And then not even just the cookies, like there was just so many other things that I was seeing, like endless. And I was just like, it's torture. And then I load up my bags with all these stupid cans of tuna and oatmeal. And like the tuna cans are really heavy, you know, and the apples are heavy. So it's like, I don't even want this crap. And I'm just lugging it back to my car after. Oh, but okay, so when I went to check out at Walmart, the checkout messed up. It like, something happened where the process on the computer, it was a self-checkout. So at the self-checkout, I had already scanned everything and I had already put in like the change, like there's like the dollars and then the change. And I usually, if I have like a change, like a coin purse, well, I'll try to take care of the change part first so I can have like an even number of the rest of it left, just so it's like easier for me to do the math or remember. I don't know. But so I put in the coins and then I tried to do the rest of it and the machine was just like messing up and something popped up on the screen where it said that there needed to be like a store associate to come like do something to fix it. So I had to like, and they weren't just, you know, it's Walmart, so they weren't just like automatically showing up. I had to like go find one, and then she wasn't able to figure it out. So she was like, I have to go get my manager. So then she went to get her manager, and that took like a couple minutes. And then when she came back by herself without the manager. So, and she was, you know, like I don't think English was her first language kind of thing, which is fine. Like I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but just the lines of communication were a little bit more difficult for me and her with that, you know, to try to like figure out what was going on with the machine and with her trying to get the manager. So she comes back without the manager and I'm just like trying to be patient and I'm like, you know, like are they coming? And her response was confusing to me and I couldn't really tell for sure if the manager was actually on their way. She kind of said that they were, but that they were like doing something first. And I was like, at that point I kind of started to freak out. Not really, but I was really trying not to. But I got a little bit more firm, not rude. I don't think I was being rude or mean or anything, But I'm the kind of person where my default is like too nice. Like that's my personality anyways, but also the way that I look. I feel like with like the blonde and the blue eyes, like, I just have that kind of look where I look pretty nice, and that's my personality too as well. So people can sometimes like, you know, use that to their advantage or take advantage of that. I use that advantage and take that to, I honestly, yes, will use that to my advantage and take advantage of things sometimes with that too, because I look so innocent, and really obviously I'm not. Like I'm I'm a terrible person, we all know. Like I'm just so guilty and so horrible, and you know, what is it, like a sheep in wolf's clothing? No, a wolf, I'm like a wolf in sheep's clothing. But I'm really not. But I feel like that's kind of how I'm treated like that by people too, like, I don't know. Anyways, we won't go there right now. That's annoying. But so I got a little bit more firm with her at that point, and I was like, look, I don't really have time. I really have to go be at work. Which I was really just kind of like anxious, because I knew that after that I wanted to go to the gym, and I knew that I also wanted to do my YouTube video that day. So for me to do the gym, usually going to that particular gym that I usually go to, the workouts on the treadmill that I do are 99-minute workouts. So that's like almost 2 hours. And then, yeah, when I come onto my YouTube and do videos, they're usually a lot on the longer side. So the past couple of videos were like half an hour, but usually they're like well over an hour. So I was getting really anxious, because I was like, I knew it was going to be getting dark out soon. I knew that I wanted to do like almost a 2-hour workout at the gym after that, and do a YouTube video. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to squeeze that all in, like, time wise. So I don't know. Eventually, I kind of kept like going over, like asking her, like I was like, look, I really have to go. And then the manager still wasn't showing up, by the way. So I was just like, after a few more minutes, I was like, can you go ask them again? And then I was like, you know what, maybe I can just come with you. Like she started to go walk back to wherever they were to go find them again and ask them again. But that time I made a point to go with her. So I just like followed her to wherever she was going to go talk to them. And luckily that wasn't too far of a ways away. So we get to the manager, and then I'm just like, please help, please help. So, but once that happened, once we got to the manager, they were pretty good, and they were able to come fix things, in a relatively decent amount of time after that. But that process as a whole ended up taking probably 10-15 minutes, possibly, or probably close to that. So it might not sound like much, but me being in a rush, and yeah. So, and I was just frustrated too, like being on the stupid diet yet again, that never really works out anyways, because later this year, it's just going to be back to like freezing cold. If I'm still even in that apartment that I've been at, it's going to be freezing cold, can't afford to heat it, 50 degrees. My body just won't let me stay in. Everything gets messed up. Whatever progress I'm able to make for the spring and the summer with my diet, it's all destroyed come winter, which is just so shortly after that. So it's like, it's pointless. But yeah, so that little ordeal was after me like seeing all this stuff that I wanted to get and try so bad, but it's all too expensive, and it's all going to mess up my diet. And then, it's like choices, these tough choices that I'm trying to make. So I got what I normally would get, and then apples. And then after that, I was so exhausted. I did not want to go to the gym. I really, 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 really didn't want to go. And I had to try to decide between, do I do my YouTube video first while it's still light out, or do I just do the gym first? And I knew if I did the gym first that I wasn't going to be able to wear these wigs, because they would get so messed up. So I had to bring this gym wig. This is what I was wearing at the gym. So you can see it gets like so messed up in the back, especially like it's because if I had worn this at the gym, doing those 9 miles like that, a lot of it was at a speed of over 6. So this would not look like this right now if I had been wearing this at the gym doing that. So I'm glad that I at least remembered though about that. So I'm glad I remembered to bring that red wig just in case. So yeah, I switched off my wigs, put put the red one on, did my 9 miles, 9.56 technically to be exact. Or, you know, that's what it said on the treadmill screen. So yeah, I don't know. I was just, and then I knew after that, I was very, you know, sore and tired. And I was like, I knew I wasn't going to have enough time to do a YouTube video without it getting dark out, which it did in my YouTube video. So, you know, me being in a bad mood for that video yesterday, like I did have my little silly little first world problem reasons. But anyway, what else do I have on here? Oh, God. So, I don't know if I should. um, yeah. Well, I need to check the timestamp because, oh my gosh, I'm already at almost an hour. So as usual, I am anxious about this stream and whether or not it's going to post properly. Right before I started the stream, I tried to go live to do a stream right before this one, and like probably 30 seconds or less after I was streaming, it messed up and it said that it was trying to reconnect. And when that's happened in the past, after it says that it's reconnected, in the past I've just kept talking, just assuming that it looks like it's still working after it reconnects. So I'll just keep talking for like hours and hours. And when I've done that in the past, after my stream ends, I'd go back, and turns out the only part of that stream that actually posted properly was like the first few seconds before it messed up and like disconnected. So even though it said it reconnected after that, none of what I tried to stream actually ended up posting. So that's a bad feeling to waste, especially since, yeah, my streams are usually on the longer side, like multiple hours. I wonder at this point how many hours of content I've actually lost here on my YouTube trying to do live streams, because there have been many multiple instances where I've lost hours and hours and hours of footage. It's happened many times. So I have been proud of myself the past couple days, like being able to do like half-hour shorter streams, but that's just really difficult for me. Like when I actually do have the time and like do have the daylight to work with, I really just like to talk and just say stuff. But anyway, I guess real quick, there's only a couple other little stupid things written down on this particular piece of paper for today, but another reason I was kind of feeling awful and frustrated yesterday. So I did just get a new phone. I've talked about that kind of a lot lately. Actually, yeah, Friday the 13th, I got my new phone. So I've had this new phone for 2 weeks now. And in that entire 2-week time period, you know, I was so against getting a new phone. And I was saying so many times how it wasn't worth it. I didn't need to have a phone at all. I was like, because my old phone was it's not like I got a new phone just to get a new phone. I only got a new phone because my old phone was messing up to the point where nothing was really working on it anymore. So, especially my YouTube. So I kind of just broke and just got a new one, as much as I didn't want to and can't really afford it. But I was saying right before I did that, right before I got the new one, I was like, I don't need a phone at all. Like I can just, because I really don't do much on my phone other than the YouTube. And technically I could do my YouTube from my laptop back at the apartment that I stay at for now. So I was like, I don't really talk on the phone with people. I don't really text that many people very much. It's mainly just pictures and my YouTube. But, like, that includes, like, with my family, like, I really don't talk to my family that much. My family's pretty small, and it's my younger half brother doesn't really talk to me much anymore. I mean, he lives really far away, and um it's basically my mom and my grandmother that I talk to. That's like it for my family. And my she's not going to be around forever, obviously. None of us are, but she's obviously older, being a grandmother. um, my mom, okay, so like in the 2 weeks since I've had my new phone, I hadn't heard from either of them. And within the past couple days, my gram did text me. My mom did not. So I kind of wanted to like just hold off and not text them just to see like how long it would take. I don't do this all the time, like, but I was curious. Like, I was kind of just putting my theory to the test, like, because I had been telling myself, like, I don't need to bother to have a phone anyways. Like, I don't need to have a phone. I don't even talk to people. So it's like, I was kind of putting that theory to the test, like, and yeah, in that entire 2 week time period, my mom didn't text me at all, so, or call me. So that's a normal thing, I guess, for us, but so I eventually gave in, and not gave in, but I eventually just said whatever, and I sent her a text message, just to be like, hey, whatever. And when she texted me back, she sent me this Bible passage. She sent me like this biblical story. I didn't even read the full thing because it gave me too much anxiety. It was something to do with fleas. It was like this story of like somebody like talking to God about like they had like gotten fleas or something of theirs, and they were talking to God about it, and or somebody that was like close to God, like a pastor, or I like I said, I didn't fully read it. I just saw little bits and pieces to where what I saw gave me so much anxiety that I had to just delete it. So, yeah. Like everything, part of the reason I don't try to talk to her more often is because everything she says, not everything, but close to it, almost everything she says to me and everything she sends me in a text message, when she actually does do that, again, not that she does that very often, but those rare instances where we do communicate and she does call, like say something on the phone or text me, what she says gives me so much anxiety and makes me feel so much worse than I already did. Like this past Christmas, she was like trying to ask me like if she could get me anything, which is so nice, right? But then she was like, what about new sheets, and you can just like throw all your old stuff away? And the way that she said that, it's like she knows my bed is my everything, and that after the apartment that I'm in now, pretty much everything there is probably going to end up being thrown away because I'm not going to have anywhere to go after that. And just the way that she said it, where she was like, I don't really want to get into that right now, but back to the thing that she sent me with the biblical passage that she sent to my phone. It was like somebody was like had gotten fleas like in their stuff, and they were talking to some religious person about it, and the religious person was like saying how they should be thankful for like the fleas and for everything. Like, be thankful at all times, be thankful for everything, and that includes the fleas or something. I don't know, it was really, really weird, but it gave me a lot of anxiety. Like, I don't like to think about fleas or bugs, or especially now that summer's coming up, like I'm trying not to think about stuff like that. Oh God, like it just give me the itchies and the gross, like creepy feeling. Like, why are you sending me this? Like, she's so weird, you guys. Like, she used to have a picture of Jesus near her bed when I was growing up, and it's like, look, I'm not knocking Jesus, I'm not knocking the Bible, but next to your bed like that, like, just What about, like, anywhere else in the house or anywhere else in your room? Why right? Like, just it's just weird to me. I don't know. I don't know. Is anything real? That can't be real. Like, okay, so apparently the story that the passage that she was sending or like the text that she was sending me that story from, I guess it was from a book called The Hiding Place. And then, so the name of that story, even the name of the story freaks me out. The Hiding Place? What do you mean, the hiding place? Because when I get back to the apartment that I sleep at, I obsessively check every nook and cranny and corner that I can to make sure nobody's in there besides me. Like, and it's an old building, so there are a lot of like places that could be considered like hiding spots, like secret doors and like little like hidden cupboards and compartments like in the walls. In front of every single one that I'm aware of, I put furniture. So like any little nook and cranny that has like a opening or a door, I will put big heavy furniture in front of it. So the only way that somebody could be hiding back there is if there were 2 or 3 people, if there was more than just one person, because one person wouldn't be able to get back there and also additionally move the big heavy furniture back in front of the door after being in there. You know what I mean? Like somebody else would have to move the furniture back after them being in there. In that case, it's just kind of silly to think about them popping out, like trying to pop out, like surprise, like, like trying to like bust open the door from like, you know what I mean, with the furniture in front of it. And like, just, you guys, when I hear the term the hiding place, it just makes me feel also, again, very anxious. Like it just gives me anxiety. And she's never seen the apartment that I'm in now. She's never, you know, been there. So I don't know, like, if she realizes like how terrified I am of like all the little hiding places in there. I obsessively check that place from top to bottom as best I can. Like everything, everywhere I can think to check it. Like, even though I already have furniture in front of everything, I like still check things. Like, so if anyone's interested, if anyone's heard the story The Hiding Place or the book The Hiding Place, go check it out. It sounds like a great read. Like, it's about the Bible and somebody getting fleas, apparently. I don't know. But so that was also a part of my yesterday, and I just my God. Like this is what, you know, this is my life, really. I'm so thankful for so many things, but there isn't a thing in the world that would make me thankful for fleas. I don't care what. Like, why are you sending me that? Where did that come from? Just who comes up with that crap? Like, it's God. Anyways, enough of that. Like, I am torn sometimes between just maybe like cutting off all contact with her, because I don't feel good when I talk to her usually. Like, I feel pretty bad. But of course, I love her because she's my mom. And like, you know, I never went hungry as a kid, obviously. Like, you know, I, she did some great things, mostly when, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. It's such a weird mix. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it wasn't all bad, but there was there has been a lot of bad. Like, it does feel kind of toxic to me, but I just don't know if it's toxic enough to where I should go as far as to actually cut off contact. And also, she's like the only family that I really have. Like, obviously, like I said, my Gram's like, you know, older, not gonna be around forever. My younger brother's like across the country and I don't know, just busy. I don't know. A lot of times I do though. I'm like, would I be better off just like maybe, we don't really talk that much anyways. Like, we don't really talk that much anyways, but it's like, I don't want to just let the lines of communication completely disappear between us. You know what I mean? Like, I still love her. Like, I still am very thankful, especially for a lot of parts of my childhood that were pretty good, pretty great, even a lot of times. So, but it's like the older I got, and especially being an adult, it just kind of, I don't know, like, it got less and less, more and more difficult between us, I guess. Like, to where now I'm like, we don't really talk that much anyways. So when we do, if I feel that bad when we do talk, like, should I really bother? Or I don't want to just be heartless. Like, I don't want to, like, be too dramatic or go too far to just completely cut off contact, But then there's a part of me that's like, well, maybe it might be best for me. I probably won't. I really don't want to do that, but I just don't, it's really difficult for me to try to understand where she's coming from with stuff, like, why would you send that kind of stuff to somebody? Like, she clearly just doesn't know me at all, doesn't understand me, because if she understood me at all or knew me at all, she would have to know how much anxiety that kind of stuff would give me and gives me to read that kind of stuff. Like, and I didn't even read all of it. I just skimmed it. I just skimmed, and I just saw the little bits and pieces to where I was like, oh my God, I can't, like, delete. What are you talking about? God, stop. Anyway, so I probably shouldn't have mentioned that, but that was just part of my yesterday, and just part of my today too, honestly. It's stuck in my head now, and I hope that it leaves soon. I hope it doesn't stay stuck in here. I hope it's one of those things that I can just forget about. You know what I mean? Like, why do I always forget about the stuff that I actually want to remember, and the stuff that I don't want to remember? The stuff that I want to forget about, it's like stuck in my head forever. And like vice versa, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many things I want to remember, like good stuff that I like or that I want to remember. And I'm so scatterbrained that I'll just forget a lot of times, stuff like that. But then there's like these really stressful like things that I want to forget and don't want to remember. But it's like once I hear about some certain things like that, they're just stuck up in my dome like forever, it feels like, and I just want them out. Like, get away, like, repel, like, where's my crucifix? Like, repel that stuff. Like, get away from me. Get away. I don't want to hear about fleas, and I don't want to hear about hiding places, and I don't want to hear about any of that. Anyway, I'm sure you guys don't either, so I apologize. I'm sorry. Like, who does? Who would, right? Like, what? Like, who and how and why? Just, ooh. So also something that's kind of been bumming me out and stressing me out lately is somebody had left. So kind of on that note, sort of, somebody had left these really mean comments on some of my videos. It was right around St. Patrick's Day. I think it was the video that I did right before St. Patrick's Day, and then the video that I did actually on St. Patrick's Day. I don't know. I had been talking about something to do with driving, and they left some really mean comments. I actually deleted the comments. I was trying not to, because I mean, I've gotten kind of like weird, mean comments before, and most of the time, even if there's a comment that I really don't like, I usually won't delete them. I believe in free speech. I don't believe in censorship. I think censorship really bugs me. So even when I do get occasionally, I mean, meaner comments or comments that just don't sound very nice to me, I'll usually still try to leave them up, because I'm also the kind of person that tries to tough things out. You know what I mean? And like, but these particular comments were really giving me anxiety as well, like to the point where I did end up deleting them, because these comments in particular said something about how, I don't know, I had been talking about driving in one of my videos and kind of like joking around about like driving with my knee or something. And I don't think like, maybe people didn't realize at first when I was talking about that, I was going down a, like, 25-mile-an-hour road. So, to drive, like, with your knee for, like, a few moments at a time down a 25-mile-an-hour road, that's honestly the only way that I can, like, do the speed limit on a 25-mile-an-hour road. Because 25 miles an hour is so slow to me that, yeah, pretty much the only time that I can actually get myself to stick to that speed limit is if it's either, like, a snowstorm with, like, really bad road conditions, or if I'm just, like, doing other things, like driving with my knee. So, apparently that really offended some people, but somebody, I guess they said that they left some comments about, like, me being a dangerous driver or something along those lines. And then when I originally replied to them and, like, made a verbal response in the following video that I did, but then they left another comment that was like, "Oh, I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about you not getting your brakes fixed or something." And I did get my brakes fixed. That was an issue that I had with my car back last, like, November. So that was, like, months and months ago at this point. And I don't really understand where they were coming from with that, because again, I talked about that issue that I'd had months ago with my car. I talked about that in some videos, but I also talked about how I had gotten that issue fixed. I mean, my car it's due for its inspection and registration around that same time, like November, December. So I went and I got that issue fixed. And I also made a video about that and talked about, like, I remember the next day, or it was actually the same day or the same night from the day that I got my car fixed with that issue. I came right back on YouTube, did a video where I was like, guess what, guys, I just got my car fixed. So yeah, it was really weird to me. But the reason this comment was giving me such bad anxiety as well is because they specifically said that they hope that one of my tires falls off on the highway. And looking back now, I probably shouldn't have deleted that comment, just so that people could, like, actually, like, go back and see that I'm not making this up. Like, or now that I'm saying this now, they haven't commented on a few of my videos, which is nice, but now that I'm, like, addressing it again, like, they'll probably leave another mean comment maybe. So if they do, I'll just, like, get it out of the way now and just say, like, if they leave another similar comment that's going to be really, like, mean and anxiety provoking like that, I will just go ahead and delete it again. Because for somebody to actually say something as specific as them hoping that one of my tires falls off on the highway, yeah, that gives me pretty bad anxiety. And that was giving me bad anxiety to the point where I was like, I'm just going to delete that comment. You know what I mean? Like, because that's crossing a line to where, for myself, like, for my own personal, like, I'm not going to leave that on my channel. Like, talk about bad vibes. Like, yeah, other comments that aren't so great, I'll usually just leave up just to try to tough it out or leave them up. But something like that, I'm like, no, I'm not leaving that. And also, it wasn't making sense to me, because when they first started to leave a comment like that, it seemed like their concern, or the reason they wanted to say something and address it, was because they were so concerned about the safety of other people on the road. You know, because, like, for them to try to give me a hard time or call me out for not driving safely or for not getting my car fixed, even though I did get my car fixed, it's almost like they were trying to seem like their concern was for the safety of those around me, the safety of other people on the roads, or, like, just in my presence while I'm driving, like, you know what I mean? Like, in the general area where I'm driving. But to then go and say specifically that you hope that somebody's tire falls off on the highway, how is that not jeopardizing the safety of other people around me, like, where I'm driving? I'm pretty sure that would be more dangerous if somebody's tire were to fall off on the highway. I'm pretty sure that would be more of a safety risk and more of a dangerous thing for other people than me just, you know, using my leg a little bit on the steering wheel when I'm going down a 25-mile-an-hour back road. So, but what really also kind of gave me anxiety and freaked me out is the comments that they left got, like, almost 10 likes, or maybe not that many, but there was like 5, 6, 7 likes for their comments. And I know just from experience that people can like their own comments. I say that because yes, I've done it before. I've liked my own comments before just because I think it's cool that you are able to do that on YouTube. Like, oh, I'm just gonna go ahead and like my own crap. Like, it's kind of like liking your own Facebook post on Facebook. It's kind of like, okay, like, go you. But the thing is, I'm pretty sure that yes, okay, so somebody can like their own comment maybe once, but I don't think they can do it more than one time, unless they're actually out of their way to like make up a bunch of other additional screen names to do that. But why would somebody put in that much effort? You know what I mean? Like, just for something that's stupid. But yeah, the comments they were leaving about that kind of thing, they were getting quite a few likes, like way more likes than my comments get. You know what I mean? So, but what also, it really confused me because what they were trying to say, I guess, is that they were referring to me not getting the brakes fixed on my car. But I did do that. I did get them fixed, and I got them fixed many, many months ago. And I said that, and I addressed that, and I made a video about me doing that months ago. So why would people just be like so quick, all these like random people, like quick to like a comment like that? Like, do they just, it kind of feeds into that feeling where it's like, oh, okay, so out of the few views that my videos get, is it really just a bunch of ill-intentioned haters that are watching me? Like, I do thankfully get some nice comments here and there, mostly from like the same kind of handful of usernames, which I definitely really appreciate. And so that's, that's great. Like, thank you guys a lot for that, and that's definitely a nice thing. But like, those nice comments don't really seem to get that many likes. I'll like them or like put a little heart reaction, but I don't know, for kind of negative, weird comments that aren't even like accurate, saying that I didn't get my car fixed when I did, for those kind of comments to just get all kinds of likes, it's like, that's just a kind of weird feeling where it's like, okay, so who's really like watching my stuff? Is it just a bunch of, yeah, people against me, or just people that don't really, I don't know. It's just, I know it's the internet, so you can't really, you got to try not to take, I tell myself not to take stuff on the internet all that seriously because it's the internet. And I myself especially feel like I just never know like what anything is online, really, you know what I mean? Like, I've said so many times before, like, I don't really know if any of my views or subscribers or comments are even real or from real people, or if they're just AI generated, if they're just, they could be anything. I mean, it's the internet stuff could be anything, so it's like, I try not to take it too seriously, but of course I'm gonna feel a little anxious when somebody says they hope that my tire falls off on the highway, and then when stuff like that gets all these likes, like, like, well, excuse me, like, God. But so yeah, I was hesitant to like bring that up again, like, because I did kind of start to address it, and I did start to reply to those comments, like like texting stuff out, like in a, like in the comment section itself. I was doing that at first, and then I also verbally started to mention that kind of stuff, or this kind of stuff, like in my next video or two. But that was before I deleted their comment. And then once I deleted their comment, they did leave another one, which I also deleted. And so since then, I haven't really seen anything from them. But it's like, why are there these like people lurking like that don't even, they clearly don't seem to like me, or like, so why? It is a weird feeling for people that don't really like your stuff to still watch or interact or participate with your content online, like, I don't know. So, but yeah, I'll be honest, like, with this right now too, like, again, I'll just additionally say again, like, if that person, me addressing this now, if that person does continue to leave more comments, like, with that kind of tone, or like, you know what I mean? Like, I will just additionally go ahead and delete them. Because yeah, just for my own, like, I just don't want to have negative vibes like that, like on my stuff, you know, like if the negative vibes are coming from just me complaining, that's one thing. But, you know, even with me doing that as much as I do, I usually try to like still make jokes about stuff, or also kind of spin it around in like a more positive direction when I can, or like try to see the silver lining or the upsides of things. As stressful and as concerning as a lot of the stuff that I try to talk about can be, at least for me. So I don't know, but yeah, there's a website that I've streamed on before where it was more of like an adult kind of content site, and on that website you have the option to mute guests that don't have actual screen names or usernames, so they could just be, they're just an anonymous person commenting. So they're called guests on that website. So again, no screen name, no username, just any anonymous jackass online pretty much can just type whatever they want to type in your chat box or in your chat room. So the people that stream on that site do have the option to mute the guests. And literally, I think almost, I would say 99.99% of the other streamers or models on that website. Timestamp. Well, I guess so. My stream just interrupted. Wow, what an interesting topic for that to interrupt on. I gotta, I guess, write that down. 77 minutes. Jesus. Oh, wait a minute. I take that back. God. Oh, planet Earth, will you please cease someday? Is there an asteroid out there anywhere that can just... God. Armageddon! Yes, my video just interrupted, so apparently the powers that be that run that website and this website are like... Or maybe it's that person. It's the person that said they want my tire to fall off. Hi, what's up? Are you interrupting my stream? How dare I take your name in vain? I wasn't, I swear. I really wasn't trying to. Yes, okay, so I was gonna wrap this up in a few minutes anyways. Because my stream just interrupted, this stuff going on from here especially might not post. I really knew I shouldn't bother to get a new phone for this shit. Like, I really have to try to just, if I'm going to continue to come on here and stream, I gotta keep my half an hour, or like just not much longer than that, because it really does suck to waste time like this. On that other website where you have the option to mute guests or not, again, well, I don't know if, okay, so I don't know where the interruption would have happened. Crap. I don't know which parts would have gotten cut. Oh God. All right. I want to end this. I want this to be over. So, the stream I'm referring to. God. Mostly. Okay. Oh God, this is such a headache. God, I hate the internet. I hate everything. Help. What I was saying, there's this stupid ass website that I've streamed on this other website, like a live stream type of website I had done that in the past. There's an option on that website for people that don't have screen names or usernames so basically any anonymous jackass can just leave comments, and you don't know who they are or where they're coming from. Technically, you can say that about people with usernames too. Like, I feel like most of the time you still don't really know who people are behind their usernames, but with the guests, it's like that taken to a whole other level, to where They don't even have like a screen name or a username on that website to be held accountable to. Like, yeah. So like anyone can just log on, not even log on, but just go on that site and just, so with that feature, the people that stream on that website have the option to mute the guests or not. If they don't mute the guests, then literally anyone that's on that website without a screen name, without a username, can just type whatever they want to type and send messages like that into your chat room. So from what I've seen on that website, it seems like about 99.99% of every other model on that website chooses the option to mute the guests and to not have all of those random anonymous comments coming in from just anyone. For me personally, it's been a while since I've streamed on that site, but when I have streamed on that site in the past, I would purposely not mute the guests like that. I guess I was probably part of like the 1% of streamers and models on that site that just left the guest comments option on to just allow anybody, any random, pretty much just jackass to comment and say whatever they wanted to say. So for me to delete comments is a pretty unusual kind of out of character thing for me. Again, I usually try not to and to just let people be mean to me and rude and just try to tough it out as best I can. Like, I feel like it's character building and, you know, it's like free speech and I should be able to take it. I should be able to handle it. So yeah, I really try to like stick to that and like as best I can. But for somebody to, I'm not just going to do that like always. You know what I mean? Like if somebody, I will break my own rule with that from time to time, because to say that you hope somebody's tire falls off on the highway, like that's just crossing a line for me where it's almost, well, I don't want to keep going about this, but it does sound kind of threatening. Like, you know what I mean? Like just really wishing bad things upon somebody. So what I was also just going to say again is, if I get more comments like that from that person or anybody else, as much as I try to tough things out, if I will just probably delete comments like that, you know, like, so waste your time if you want to, but I will delete them in the future, like going on from now. And if I were to ever try to go back on that website with the guests, I'll probably mute the guests at this point, because you know, I've toughed it out, stuff like that, enough already, and like I don't have any more points to try to prove to myself with that kind of thing. Like my existence is difficult enough as it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like I deal with enough crap like in my day-to-day, night to night, second to second, every breath that I take pretty much is difficult enough for me. So, you know, if I have one or two tiny little options to try to lessen that in any way, to any extent, why am I going to cheat myself out of that? You know, like I might as well at least try to use that, you know, option to, and make the most of it if I actually do occasionally actually have a choice in something. So anyway, now that I've gotten that out of the way for now, the sun is going down, and well, I was saying earlier, when I first started to try to stream, seconds into my first stream, that got interrupted, and then 77 minutes into this one, we had another interruption. So hopefully I don't have to say too much of this, or preferably any of this all over again, but we'll see. You know what? Hey, maybe, okay, so if there's issues with this stream, if it doesn't post properly, maybe that's a sign for me to just go out tomorrow, and just, if I go out tomorrow too, then I'll be able to say again that I've gone out every single day of the week. So I know I did that earlier this month. So March Madness, woohoo! It wasn't last week, but it was earlier this month that I went out every single day. So if I go out again tomorrow, that'll be every single day of this week. So no days off. I don't deserve a day off. And, you know, that's just adding to my fatness. Sorry. I'm too old and too, all right, I'll stop. I'm too old to take a day off. Any day that I take off just leads to me sleeping too much and not being productive enough. So and on that note, this stream can be messed up all at once, and I'll just have to go back to the gym tomorrow. I love going to the gym. It's a love-hate relationship. I'm going to force myself to like it as much as I can because my fat ass needs it. Craves it even. Yes. I'm sad. All right. Clearly. I apologize for all of this. I know that I'm obnoxious and terrible. Oh, but you know what I was going to say too? Like, because those, like, I know I'm a bad person and I don't try to deny that. Like, so leave me alone. Like, with those comments, they were coming in around St. Patrick's Day. I don't know who St. Patrick was. I did try to Google this recently out of curiosity. The answer that Google gave me about St. Patrick, I didn't understand a word of it. I was like, never mind, I don't get it. Like so many things. Whoever Patrick was might have been a saint for St. Patrick's. I myself am not a saint, okay? Nowhere near that, nowhere close. And don't try to pretend to be. I know that I'm overall a pretty crap person, and that's largely what a lot of my channel and my videos are about, is me trying to address that and work through it as best I can, like just at least verbally, like just confess to that. Confess, I know I'm a terrible person and I don't want to be, and I try not to be, but apparently maybe that's just a large part of a large portion of my nature. And I am ashamed of that, and I do apologize for that. I don't want that to be the case. I want to improve myself. I want to be a better person. I want the world to be a better place. And I want to do what I could maybe possibly try to do to make that happen, to make the world a better place. That being said, I really don't know how to try to go about doing that kind of thing, but I'd like to anyways. I'd still like to try to figure it out or do whatever little things that I can do in the meantime. You know, even just like small day-to-day life little things that I can try to do for people around me or myself or whatever it might be. Anyways, the sun's going down. I would love to just take you guys for a drive with me, you know, with the sun going down. But I am torn because, well, the stream's probably already had so many issues, it seems, and yeah, I guess I should just wrap this up now. It says 80 minutes, so we are, 89 minutes, so I'll just keep yapping my chat for, it's almost 90. In less than a minute, we're gonna be at 90 minutes. So I'll keep yapping my trap until it gets to 90. So then I can just know this stream was supposed to be an hour and a half. However, with the interruptions, God only knows. Or maybe not just God, maybe, whatever usernames and screen names have been leaving me comments, or maybe the webmasters of that other website that I was talking about when the second interruption happened. Or I'm sure some other people know too. I'm sure maybe YouTube knows, the YouTube officials, who does know, not me. But I'll find out, I guess, with this little bit in a few moments once I finally log off of this mother. Yeah! Okay. It's so weird. Whenever I log off of a stream and I end a stream, it'll say a certain timestamp. Later on, like the next day after the stream and the video, after the stream posts as an actual video the next day, it'll say a different timestamp. Even the times that it actually does post properly is the times that I'm referring to. Obviously, the times that it doesn't post properly, of course, is going to have a different timestamp. But even the times that my streams and my videos do post properly, even then, the timestamps are usually pretty different, like by at least a few, like sometimes I think even a minute or two. I don't know. This not that much, but there's still different timestamp than what it originally said after it processes and uploads as an actual video. Anyways, about 91 minutes now, but close enough. Hour and a half is what this is supposed to be. So yeah, if this stream doesn't post okay, I'll be right back on tomorrow to redo it. And, you know, hopefully be able to go to the gym too with that. Before, after, whatever it might be. Hopefully I'll be able to do both if that's what ends up happening. Rather do neither. I would like a day off tomorrow. And I'd also like to see a squirrel, or 2, or 3. I'd like to see some squirrels. And I still haven't today or anytime recently, but I look forward to that in the future. That's something in the future that I do look forward to, is seeing a squirrel again someday. Outside the apartment that I stay at, there's usually 1 or 2 squirrels that seem to be like frequent, like they seem to live there in one of those trees. I think they actually live in a tree that's like right outside, like right out front. I would see them. It's been a while since I've seen them either, but I would see them like almost every day. Most of the year, I feel like every single time I would go outside, I would like see them. And oh, like thinking about it now, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I should have named them by now, but I haven't. But I maybe I will. I'm really bad at coming up with names. I have said before, if I were ever to have a child, which I won't, but if I did, I think I would name them Bravery. Not to be all dramatic, but it's like a celebrity baby name. And I'm basically a celebrity in my own mind, practically. Kind of, sort of, whatever. But I just think that would be a cool name. It's 1 letter off of Avery, and Avery is definitely a name that I've heard plenty of times. So, whatever. I'm also a huge coward, but I like the idea of bravery. I think it's a nice concept. I like the concept of it. To actually put it into practice is a whole other thing, however, like so many other things. But anyways, okay, so I'm gonna wrap this up now. I hope you guys are well, and tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, one way or another, I'm gonna try to come back on again soon. But in the meantime, peace out for now, and I hope you guys have a great Friday night.